Who created Bitcoin? The mystery of Satoshi Nakamoto. It's one of the great riddles of our time, a puzzle that has captivated tech enthusiasts, financial experts, and curious minds alike. Who exactly created Bitcoin? In the nearly 2 decades since its inception, the identity of the person, or people, behind this revolutionary cryptocurrency remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the digital age. It's hard to imagine now, but back in 2009, Bitcoin wasn't much more than a whisper in obscure tech circles. When people first heard of it, few could comprehend what it was, let alone predict that it would one day change the financial world. A decentralized digital currency with no bank, no governing body, just cryptography and computers, sounded like something out of science fiction. Fast forward to today, and Bitcoin has gone from being a niche curiosity to a global phenomenon. Millions of people use it, trade it, and even base their fortunes on it. And of course, we've all heard the now infamous story of Laszlo Hanyecz, the Florida programmer who made history in 2010 by paying 10,000 Bitcoins for 2 large Papa John's pizzas. Back then, those Bitcoins were worth about $30, just enough to cover his cheesy cravings. But had he held on to them, at Bitcoin's peak, they could have been worth a staggering $100 million. Yet when asked about his decision years later, Hanyecz was surprisingly content. "I don't regret it," he said. "I think it's great that I got to be part of Bitcoin's early history." And that's where the story begins, at the very roots of this digital revolution. The real question is who planted the seed? Who was this mysterious genius, or group of geniuses, who gave us Bitcoin? It all starts with a name that now carries an almost mythic weight: Satoshi Nakamoto, a ghost in the machine. Satoshi Nakamoto. The name alone sparks intrigue. It sounds Japanese, but Nakamoto himself or herself or themselves remains a shadowy figure, a digital ghost haunting the early days of cryptocurrency. The name conjures conspiracy theories, speculation, and endless debate. Was Nakamoto one person, a pseudonym for a group of cryptographers, a government operative, a rogue genius? The first solid sign of Satoshi appeared on August 18, 2008, when the domain bitcoin.org was quietly registered. Then, later that year, Nakamoto published a groundbreaking paper titled Bitcoin, a Peer-to-Peer Electronic Cash System. This was no ordinary academic paper. It was the blueprint for a currency unlike any the world had ever seen. For a couple of years, Nakamoto stuck around, developing the Bitcoin software and engaging with a small group of early adopters. And then, just like that, he disappeared. By 2010, Nakamoto stopped responding to emails. By 2011, he had vanished entirely, leaving behind a cryptographic empire and a trail of tantalizing questions. If Bitcoin were a thriller, Satoshi would be its Kaiser Soze, the mastermind who disappeared into legend, leaving everyone else to sort through the clues. A genius beyond compare. One of the first people to take a serious look at Nakamoto was internet security researcher Dan Kaminsky. In 2011, Kaminsky told The New Yorker that whoever Nakamoto was, he or they had to be a world-class programmer with an intimate understanding of C++ cryptography, peer-to-peer networking, and economics. Kaminsky even said that if Bitcoin's creator wasn't a team of people, then he was nothing short of a genius. But geniuses don't usually stay hidden forever. They tend to rise to the surface, leaving ripples in society. So where was Satoshi? Some early theories pointed to notable cryptographers. Was it Ville Laidon-Virta, the Finnish researcher? Doubtful. He lacked the deep expertise in cryptography that Bitcoin required. What about Gavin Andresen, the developer who took over Bitcoin after Satoshi's exit? Andresen claimed he didn't create Bitcoin, but once suggested that an Australian computer scientist named Craig Wright might be the real Nakamoto. Craig Wright's story is one of the strangest twists in this saga. Wright publicly declared himself to be Bitcoin's creator, and at first there was circumstantial evidence to back him up. He produced cryptographic keys linked to early Bitcoin blocks and even registered a U.S. copyright for Bitcoin's code. But as skeptics dug deeper, Wright's story began to crumble. Some researchers, including Kaminsky, dismissed his claims as intentional scammery. Wright, for his part, remains defiant, even threatening to sue those who call him a fraud. The suspects, Hal Finney and Dorian Nakamoto. Then there's Hal Finney, one of Bitcoin's earliest supporters and a cryptographic pioneer in his own right. If Satoshi Nakamoto wasn't Finney, he was at least close to him. Finney was the first person to receive a Bitcoin transaction sent to him by Nakamoto. Writing analysis even suggested that Nakamoto's and Finney's styles were strikingly similar. But Finney, who sadly passed away in 2014, always denied being the creator. Investigators who visited his home concluded he was telling the truth. Adding another bizarre twist to the story is Dorian Nakamoto, a California man who lived down the street from Hal Finney. In 2014, a Newsweek journalist tracked down Dorian, a retired engineer, and confronted him with the question, "Are you Satoshi Nakamoto?" Dorian's cryptic response, "I am no longer involved in that and cannot discuss it," set off a media frenzy. But Dorian quickly backtracked, saying he misunderstood the question. To clear things up, Satoshi's old account even resurfaced to post a message, "I am not Dorian Nakamoto. Nick Szabo, the closest match. If there's one person who fits the bill of Bitcoin's creator, it might be Nick Szabo." Szabo, a brilliant computer scientist, created BitGold, a digital currency concept that predates Bitcoin and shares many similarities with it. He dreamed of a decentralized monetary system, wrote extensively about it, and had the technical skill to make it happen. Some investigators concluded that Szabo must be Satoshi, but Szabo has repeatedly denied it, giving credit to Nakamoto for improving on his ideas. Satoshi came along and has improved a number of aspects of BitGold, he once said, and actually wrote software. If Szabo isn't Satoshi, then he is, at the very least, Bitcoin's intellectual forefather. A modern-day mystery. Other names have surfaced over the years. Elon Musk, Shinichi Mochizuki, even the US government. But none have been proven. The truth is, we still don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is. Perhaps he was one man, a team of visionaries, or even a ghost, a name with no face, hiding behind code. And maybe that's exactly how Satoshi wanted it. After all, Bitcoin is built on the principle of decentralization, no single entity in control. What better way to embody that than to disappear entirely? Whoever Nakamoto was, they gave the world something that changed the way we think about money, technology, and trust. For now, the identity of Bitcoin's creator remains an unsolved mystery, a riddle we may never crack. So what do you think? Who was Satoshi Nakamoto? Was it a lone genius, a team of experts, or someone we haven't even considered? Leave your theories below, and if you enjoyed unraveling this mystery, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Because the greatest trick Satoshi ever pulled might just have been convincing the world he didn't exist. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.